Story number 1. Haunted by the Bloody Man. My terrifying true story, adapted based on a post by Jason Hebert 1 from Reddit. I never thought to share this story here. I've dropped it in YouTube comments before, even mentioned it on my show, though that's unrelated, focused on interviewing families of missing loved ones to help bring them home. I'm a regular, 41-year-old guy. No mental illness, just a touch of anxiety. No drugs, no bad habits. Drank socially in my teens and 20s, but nothing heavy. My life's been normal, except for what happened in that house. It started when I was 5 or 6, 1988 or 89. At bedtime, never deep in the night, I'd hear the creak of the stairs in my grandfather's old house. Then I'd see him, the one I called the Bloody Man. A figure in a tattered hospital gown, a blood-soaked bandage wrapped tight around his head. His face? I can't recall it. Maybe I never dared look, or maybe there was nothing to see. He'd pace the stairs, up and down, a restless shadow caught in some endless loop. I wasn't scared, though I knew something was wrong. Maybe I was too young to fear him, or maybe something told me not to. Years later, I learned the truth. The Bloody Man was my uncle. In August 1982, he'd been beaten. With a baseball bat, he stumbled home, collapsed into bed, and while he slept, his brain swelled. By morning, the family rushed him to the hospital, but he lingered only a few days before he was gone. I was born a year later, in December 1983. His death hung over that house like a stain. I saw him maybe 15 to 30 times, always at bedtime, always on those stairs. Then my mom and I moved out to start fresh. For 5 years, I thought I'd left him behind. At 12 or 13, I came back to my grandfather's house. My mom needed to care for him after a series of mini-strokes left him wheelchair-bound. The Bloody Man never returned, but the house wasn't done with me. About 6 months in, I was teaching my little sister, barely 5, how to play Sonic the Hedgehog. The room was dim, the TV's glow flickering across her face as I explained the controls. Then, a voice, clear, sharp, and impossibly close, whispered her name. She bolted upright, eyes wide, and ran to the door. "Yeah, Ma?" she called. I couldn't move. My blood turned to ice. That voice wasn't my mom's. It was my grandmother's, dead for a decade. Worse, it hadn't come from downstairs. It slithered from the floor, like it was crouched there, watching us. My sister yelled for Mom again, who was washing dishes and hadn't called her. I sat there heart-hammering as my sister trudged back, sulking. "What's wrong?" I managed to choke out. "I hate those stupid stairs," she muttered. "The Bloody Man's scary." The air seemed to thicken. I pressed her, voice shaking. Who told her about the Bloody Man? My friends? A cousin? She swore no one had. She'd seen him too, same age I was when he first appeared to me. She described him perfectly. The bloody bandage, the gown, the endless pacing on the stairs. After that, the house grew bolder. Every sleepover with my friends turned into a nightmare. My bedroom door would rattle, violently, like something was trying to claw its way in. We'd fling it open mid-shake, expecting my stepfather messing with us, only to find the hallway empty, the air unnaturally still. Then the scratching started, long, deliberate claw marks dragging down the wood. My friends and I would scramble to the corner of the bed, piling against the wall, eyes locked on the door as the scratches grew louder, hungrier. It happened every time they stayed over for a year. That's 5 of us now, me and my sister, who saw the Bloody Man and heard my grandmother's voice, plus 3 friends who witnessed the door's torment. We sold the house a year later and moved a few cities away. I asked my mom why she'd give up her childhood home. She spoke of bad memories piling up, erasing the good ones. Then she hesitated, her voice dropping. Plus, Grampy was creeping me out toward the end. I pressed her. She said he'd started muttering about my uncle, his son. "He's still here," he'd say, staring at the stairs. Every night, up and down those goddamn stairs, up and down. He'd seen the Bloody Man too, but the house wasn't finished with its story. 7 or 8 years after we sold it, the new owner, a guy who'd bought the place for his family, spotted my uncle at a gym. He charged over, face pale, and demanded to know, "What the hell is in that house?" He, his wife, and their kids kept seeing my uncle. Not just on the stairs, but in mirrors, his reflection lurking behind them, bloody bandage and all, staring back. I had to see for myself. I started walking by the house, hoping to catch someone outside. One day, I spotted the youngest son leaving. I introduced myself, heart pounding, and asked what they'd seen. He was too young to remember much, but he said his parents and brothers were haunted by my uncle's face in every mirror. They tore them all down, and somehow, it stopped. 10 people, across 2 families, bound by that house. My sister, my grandfather, and me who saw the bloody man. My friends who heard the claws, the new owners who faced him in glass. Whatever he left behind, it's still there, waiting for the next soul to notice. Story number 2, Someone's in My Bed, the Snapchat from Hell. Adapted based on a post by Little Cat Set7449 from Reddit. I'm trembling downstairs, whispering to my roommate, my voice barely steady. Our house is split. I claimed the upstairs for my office, a cluttered sanctuary of books and glowing screens, while she rules the downstairs. 30 minutes ago, I was up there, hunched over my desk, grinding out an essay. The room buzzed with light, my computer's glare, the harsh glow of my LEDs, every bulb blazing. I left it all on when I wandered down to check on her. We've been talking ever since, the last half hour a blur of laughter and small talk. Then my phone vibrated, a Snapchat notification, a suggested friend. Innocent enough. I tapped it, expecting some random profile. Instead, the app opened to a photo that clawed the air from my lungs. It's my room, but it's wrong. The lights are off, swallowed by an unnatural darkness. My LEDs flicker faintly, casting a sickly blue pallor across the walls. And there, in the center of the frame, is my bed. Something is in it. The photo is taken, from their point of view, as if they're propped up against my headboard, staring into the void of my room. The sheets are twisted, bunched around a shape that's too still, too wrong to be human. Shadows pool in the corners, and I swear they're shifting, curling like smoke. I didn't take this. I couldn't have. My room was a beacon of light. When I left it, and I've been downstairs the whole time, my heart's a jackhammer. I show my roommate, and her face drains of color. I can't move, can't think. The stairs loom behind us, a black maw leading up to whatever's waiting. I'm too terrified to climb them. What the hell is in my room? My roommate, braver than I'll ever be, grabbed her handgun, her jaw set like steel. I stayed below, clutching my phone, every creak of the floorboards above spiking my pulse. She swept the upstairs. Every closet, every shadow, every inch of that cursed space. Nothing. No one's there. Windows are locked tight, no signs of a break-in, no trace of anything human. But this house, it's got a reputation. People whisper about it, lights that flicker for no reason, voices in empty rooms, a heaviness that clings to you at night. I've laughed it off before, but now, I'm not so sure. I've checked my Snapchat a dozen times. The photo's still there. I didn't take it. I couldn't have. My phone's been with me all day, and I've used the app since I came downstairs. There's no way it was left open to some old image. But that shape in my bed, it's burned into my mind. Was it a trick of the light, or did its edges blur, like something not fully here? Is this the house playing its sick games, or is something else up there waiting for me to come back? I don't know what to do. I don't think I can sleep tonight. Not with that photo staring back at me. Story number 3. What I Saw That Night. Adapted based on a post by Deepfish3167 from Reddit. I've lurked here for a while reading your spine-chilling stories, but never dared to share my own. Until now. This horror story based on an event that happened when I was 12, and it's haunted me ever since. I rarely speak of it. Most people dismiss it as a kid's imagination. But I know what I saw. And it was real. It was summer break. The air thick with heat and possibility. My cousin, a year older, and my partner in late-night gaming marathons was crashing at my house. He'd shattered his knee and could barely hobble, so we stuck close, filling the nights with junk food and pixelated battles. That night, though, I was alone in my room, the glow of my game casting jittery shadows on the walls. My cousin was in the living room. We were the only ones home. The clock ticked past midnight, and I was about to power down when the air turned heavy, like a storm about to break. Then I saw it. Something was crawling toward me from the corner of the room. It looked almost human, but wrong, grotesquely deformed, its limbs twisting in ways that defied nature. Its movements were jerky, unnatural, like a puppet with half its strings cut. A low, guttural sound slithered from it, not a voice but something alive with malice. My heart slammed against my ribs. I thought, hoped, it was my cousin pulling a cruel prank. Then I remembered. His broken knee. He couldn't move like that. No one could. Terror swallowed me whole. I bolted from the room, my pulse roaring in my ears, not daring to glance back at whatever was scuttling in the dark. I found my cousin in the living room, his face paling as I stammered out what I'd seen. He tried to laugh it off, but his eyes darted nervously, betraying his unease. That night, I refused to step foot in my room. For a week, I camped on the living room couch, lights blazing, jumping at every creak of the house. We lived there for 6 more years, and nothing quite like that night ever happened again. But that room, it was never the same. A cloying, oppressive weight clung to it like unseen eyes tracking my every move. Even now, years later, the memory of that thing, its warped form, its guttural rasp, sends ice down my spine. I've moved far away. But sometimes in the dead of night I lie awake, dreading that this story isn't over, that it might find me again. Has anyone else faced something like this, or know how to shake the dread that lingers from such a real-life nightmare? I don't talk about it offline. It's too raw, too unbelievable. But I need to know I'm not alone.